Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Someone was you were muted. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, shout out to everybody who gave me the shout outs and loves. You guys
Now that I'm in person, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm not a big birthday guy. Are you?
Not really. I mean, next year when I turn 30, I'm gonna definitely make a big thing out of it.
The big 3-0.
Yeah,
30 is the new 50. Just remember that.
Says you.
Yeah. Listen,
Mr. 45.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks. Thanks. No.
65.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit over there. I'm at 48, ladies and gentlemen. The big 48.
Oh,
Jake. Oh, Jesus. Yes, as they would say, another year closer to death. I know. I hear those things. Another trip around the sun, as they say, also. But
you need to calm down on the Seneca visits, my friend.
Oh, please. That's the reason why I'm going. I mean, what else do I have to fucking lose? Listen,
which is a cheap plug for what we're going to announce later.
Hey, of course. So, I finally went away on a trip. I don't usually go away. I'm not a trip guy. I like to stay home. I like to catch up on my games, my shows. By the way, I just finished the show. I mean, The Boys. Oh, it so pissed me off. If you guys are watching, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but it pissed me off.
I can't get past season 1. It's too gruesome.
Is it?
For me, I'm using that squeamish, but I'm like, I watched the show. I'm like, this is no.
Oh, you big wuss. That's all right. It's cute. It's adorable. Any case,
who, me or the show?
No, you're a big wuss. That's all right. But as for me going away, it wasn't like something that I'm accustomed to doing, but I finally said, you know what, fuck, I gotta grin and bear it and take a shot. And sure enough, we did. Went to Camelback in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Never been there before. I've been to the Poconos before, but never been to there. Actually had a really good time. Really, really good time. Shout out to Auntie and my cousin Janaea, who was our drivers, our escorts over there. Mama Love went out, and of course, super producer Sally came out, and we had a good time. I even did karaoke on their karaoke night over there. Oh yeah, I have videos of that. I'm fucking ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. Cheers, my brother. Cheers. Yeah.
Somebody wish you happy birthday on the stream?
No, that was wrestling fan Frankie. He says, "Gentlemen, cheers."
If you're watching live, please comment. Please give us your thoughts as we go through all the wrestling news.
Also, getting big numbers on TikTok as well. A lot of viewerships on there. That's why I'm trying to move that along as well. Got a big announcement. I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks, but we're slowly but surely getting to that date in which the announcement will be coming. And for all you guys who've been participating and partaking in Turnbuckle Tabloid for this many years, or even if not, if you're just new listeners to the show, I would love for you guys to transition over to something else that we're doing. Don't want to say too much. I'm waiting for the exact moment in which everything is pieced together so I can finally put a presentation for everyone. So
what you need to do is like the Chris Jericho Millennium Clock thing,
right?
For the date.
Yeah, and just have the wrong date. It had to be the wrong shit. When you start looking at the Millennium Clock, you was like, wait a minute, hold on. That's way too soon. And he debuted in August, and and the Millennium was like fucking 8 months down the way and shit.
1 week it said like 17 days, and then and then it went down to tonight.
Exactly. So
whatever the fuck it did.
Yeah, so I just want to say, guys, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be a big announcement. I'm excited for it as well, and it's gonna be a nice launching pad for not only me but for a lot of creators and other activities for not only just wrestling but for those who are in the world of geekdom as well. So we're excited for that as well. But other than that,
I'm looking forward to it. I can I say I will be
yes, you are. Homework will be a part of it, big part of it as well. So he's finally getting the taste of what he wanted for the longest.
Yeah,
he's earned his stripes. So as always, I'm the Norm McDonald of this segment, and you're listening to Weekend Updates, a wrestling rundown. Kicking it off, I have to go immediately with the
elephant in the room.
Yeah, which is WWE 2K24's DLCs.
Not that elephant, for instance, but you know what? This was a big thing because 2K, when 2K says, "Oh, we're sorry, we have to have a delay," that just tells me you knew you fucked up when you announced this pack in advance.
Yeah,
it's the third one out of the fifth pack.
Are you shocked two measures. Number one, that they actually really went forth with this, and number two, that they pushed it back as far as another week for this release.
As far as them pushing it back, I definitely think that something got fucked up in the 2K system. I
Right.
don't know what it could be, but I do think that the reaction that fans have given this pack is well deserved. Because let's be real here, Pat McAfee. I figured he would be in the game eventually because he has been a big part in WWE for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you ask me if AJ Hawk, Ty Schmidt, and these two other schmucks are going to be in the game as well, I would be like, are you kidding me right now?
Were they surprised at the backlash that they were getting from the fan base for this?
I think so, because aside from people that like their show, I mean, wrestling fans who are diehard wrestling gamers, where they look at this and be like, why would I want to play as this? Like there's no uniqueness to their movesets until 2K says something. But yeah, it's just pretty much 4 additional people. Basically, Pat McAfee got his friends in the video game.
Yeah.
If it was Pat McAfee and say maybe a couple NXT people, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But and then fuck Ty Schmidt, by the way, because he was on you're on the show. I think it was yesterday, saying like, oh, you guys would rather play as us than a bunch of no names in NXT. No, I'd rather play as the no names from NXT.
I mean,
I would like to play as some of the guys that are going to be on the WWE programming weekly, and not you fucking idiots that talk about football every day.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were talking about that the reason why that they pushed it back was because of the fact that they had to add the football into the game. And it's like,
all because of a football.
I don't know. I don't know. There's something fishy going on here. I mean,
online it's gonna be funny when you kick a fucking football at somebody's head or throw a football at somebody's head.
On the recent update, they just added Jade Cargill's entrance. It's there. And
really?
Yeah,
that's not till
next
September.
Until September, yeah. And also
I was going through the moves that Will Ospreay's finishers.
Yes, Hidden Blade is there,
Mm-hmm.
and also the coffin drop is going to be in there as well. So
really,
yeah. So they might be sneaking in some stuff.
You had a theory that we talked about this yesterday,
right? So my theory was that I believe that this might be a bait and switch. I believe that there is something that is coming into play where not only that they might have known that there would have been such a backlash for this, but also that there was a sense that they might be able to sneak in another pack besides this one, a free one. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if the Wyatt 6 pulled out. Pulled up into the game. Think about it. Dexter Lumis is already programmed into the game.
Joe Gacy, the only one that's not in is Eric Rowan.
Right. So all you basically doing is just adding attires to them. Yeah. The only one that's not in it is Eric Rowan. Right. So and
it would just be another Nikki Cross character model or entrance or whatever they would have to do.
So you could change that skin. That's easy. That's easier said than done. So you can do that. So I think that's possible.
I would also add like what I was hoping for with this game this year is that they would add the old school Wyatt family stuff. Like Luke Harper would be in the game,
right?
Like that type of thing I was looking forward to, but it's not. I don't know. Maybe at this point, 2K at this point, like I told you, like there's no reason for me to play it. I only play online with my friends, and that's it. Like I don't. The My Faction players, I really don't want to grind for them.
Right.
I'm at that point with My Faction where it's like I can't tolerate another Elite Rock or Elite Hulk Hogan. Like a Chad gave from 2019. It's like no.
Yeah, it's
not worth it for me.
I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna find a way to play through it, especially with the universe mode. I'm still interested in getting into it. I can you believe I'm at the end of the fucking my rise, so I pretty much got whatever I'm gonna need. I'm right. Listen,
what's taking so long?
I've been preparing stuff, dude. Like I've been doing shit, man. Like
what are you up to? Because I played already. So what?
She's the GM.
Okay, so you're almost done.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm almost at the end. So
you're 90% done.
Okay, yeah. So I'm right there. And then once that happens, I'm going right into universe mode. So I'm good to go. So this is about the time that I needed to get done. Plus, College football just came out, and that fucking game is amazing. I just played it last
I was about to
night.
say, like, everybody's out there like this is Madden all over.
Oh, this game is fucking. Oh man, it's
Really?
fucking awesome. Yeah. But that's another review for another show. So yeah, Backlash for the DLC is coming out, but at the same time, it's getting a buzz. So we'll see what happens there.
Add Pete Dunne in the game. No one Butch.
Yeah. Change that up too.
Or just add another character thing. Fuck it.
Next up, Evander Holyfield. Anybody remember who Evander Holyfield is?
Yeah, he's the guy Mike Tyson bit his ear off.
Right. Evander Holyfield.
That's his only claim to fame, unfortunately.
No, he was a world heavyweight champion. He was actually a really good fighter too at one time.
That too, but when most people, he's known as the guy that Mike bit his ear off. But go on, I know where you're going with this.
His son Elijah is getting a WWE tryout.
His son is a fucking beast.
Yeah, apparently Elijah Holyfield was an NFL standout at one point in time, and I believe injuries put him out of place.
Yeah,
and now it looks like before SummerSlam he'll be getting a tryout for WWE. So that's interesting.
Yeah, physically he looks impressive.
Yeah, he looks massive.
I guess it's not really going to be a big concern, or it might happen, but if they change his name, because he's Evander Holyfield's son,
right?
You would want to make money off that, but if they want to make something off their own, because I was also thinking about, because last week we covered people getting their names or keeping their names when they leave WWE or go into WWE. So
I can see him be like something like Vander Field or Elijah Field or something like that. Like it's something of they'll probably still want to have it tied to what the family, but not.
What's his first name?
Elijah.
So I would more than likely think the guy called him Evander Holyfield Jr.
Just go with the whole thing.
Fuck it.
We'll see. I don't know. You know, with WWE with their name creator, it's ridiculous.
I remember I shared the clip of Lex King.
Yeah,
we talked to in the second person. It was like Brian Pillman Jr. was in AEW. I'm in NXT.
Yeah, I actually liked that interview. That was actually a really good presentation of him as an individual and staying in.
He's a good talker.
Yeah,
just it has to transfer in the ring now, sir.
Yeah. Next up, did you like the presentation of the AEW American title?
Oh my god! I mean, I should have known better. Or I should have figured that when MJF won this, because he's one of those dastardly heels, and he has to fucking poke fun at or piss people off. So, I mean, it's gonna be good for a month.
Yeah, they love to spend money over there, don't they?
Oh my god,
who was it that said? I think it was Stevie Richards that says that
the budget
AEW spends $4 million a week. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking.
Can you imagine how much that belt cost?
Yeah. That's it's not a little cheap thing that they got there. It's a nice belt though. I think it's a pretty belt.
I mean, it's pretty much their version of the United States title. It's a goof belt now.
Yeah, it's funny because I'll get rid of the international belt and I'll keep that one. That's what I would. Because don't they have a continental belt?
Jay, don't even get me started.
You're right. You're right. It's
AEW has had a belt problem for 6 years now, and they've been in the company for 5.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of AEW,
it's not even considered kind of Ring of Honor titles. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we could be all day with that.
Speaking of AEW, Buddy Murphy seems to have resigned with AEW. A good look for him.
Why?
You don't think so?
It's one of those weird things. It's like if he wants to go back to WWE, why resign unless they gave him an offer where he couldn't refuse? I don't know. It's one of those things where you thought, okay, he's definitely gone. He wants to go back to WWE, but I guess some of us need to shut our mouths at this point because we can't dictate where these guys want to go. It's all about.
I know it's true, but also I think it's safe harbor for he and the missus to have their separate lives and also do business and such.
But the thing is, we were told for so many years now at this point since the pandemic, when all these guys got released in the first place, that they wanted to be with their partners. I mean, you could just see, like we were told, Malachi wants to go back to WWE so bad. Keith Lee wants to go back just to be with his partner.
Well, you think about
respective partners, but now it's like what do these guys really want? Do they just want better deals? Or Buddy Matthews is currently out on due to injury or kayfabe because he got married and honeymoon, but his wife's back on TV. What's his excuse? I guess wait for a storyline until he comes back for the House of Black versus the Patriarch.
Yeah, and there's also saying that Malachi is signed through 2025, so there won't be any moves
but
there.
then I also saw he was signed through 2027.
Look at that. So
That's probably Adam Cole's deal, because Tony Khan said that on his interview.
Right.
Yeah, I saw his deal's up. Keith Lee's deal's currently expiring soon, but that man needs to worry about his health at this point. So
Julio Rodriguez says Blood and Guts was an awesome match. We'll get to that in a sec.
yeah, that'll probably be the main event at this point if I know Jay. It was
Maybe he likes to be
something.
home more often. Well, the WWE schedule has also lightened up as well when it came to that. Schedule wise, they're not on the road as much as they used to be. So
Right.
maybe it's that. And being a newly married man and such, I often believe that distance makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe that's what it is as well. Maybe it's just that whole aspect that we could be together but be apart at the same time. I don't mind being in a relationship with somebody and not living together. I'm okay with that. We're good.
Or working in different companies.
Right. It's fine. So we'll see. I
But
think
you mentioned this. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
the thing about the scheduling is that WWE is much lighter these days, but AEW runs once a week,
twice a week,
only if a pay-per-views.
Well, you think about it. It's Dynamite, Rampage, and I think ROH all run on one day.
which
and
is
then-
insane, and then Collision
And is on another day. So they basically only work in 2 days.
2 to 3 days a week, and then if they book indies on their own, which
Right.
I will say this for anybody that's watching live, this is going to be controversial, but because tomorrow we're going to House of Glory and we're going to see the AEW World Champion in action. Why is the world champion of the second biggest company in the states working a local independent in the New York City area?
Well, that's because of the relationship that they have together. And shout out to Brian Excel, who was on Turnbuckle Tablet this past week. You can check out our conversation on YouTube. Check out Turnbuckle Tablet on YouTube. He explained it. He explained that he wanted to have his match with Amazing Red. Everybody's doing that because now it's, he's on that same mentality like Homicide and the rest of old wrestlers go through it. It says you don't know when that time is going to happen, when retirement is going to come through that door. So they want to get their match in before it happens.
All right, so this is my message for Triple H. Send your WWE guys out there to the independents then.
Oh, he won't do that. No, but he's sending them to
Can you
other
have AJ Styles come back to the indies for a little bit?
well, he's already hitting up Japanese tours and promotions and doing that.
The Creeds are doing Bloodsport,
Right.
and Shayna Baszler
Right.
doing Bloodsport, so it's not entirely out of the realm. It's just that when AEW started, there was a whole thing about how you can't do the independents in the States. You could do anything overseas. Now that seems to be out the window. It's weird seeing that it's the AEW World Champion.
Well, you think about it as well. It's Tony Khan came in with that mentality. That's
Right.
just what it is,
And you have you have 300 people on your roster, and there's not enough space for them, so they might as well do the independents.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people who are jumping in on TikTok. Wow. Thank you guys for the support, man. Subscribe, be a part of the vibe here at Turnbuckle Tabloid, man. Show some love and hit that like button. Say, get that algorithm going for us, man. We're trying to get that vibe over here going on for
So
everybody.
share
man.
your thoughts.
Share your thoughts. We love sharing and getting in that conversation with everybody. Also, everybody on Instagram too. I see you guys up in there as well. Good looking out over there. So, speaking of contracts, CM Punk looks like he wants to renegotiate his deal with WWE, but not what everybody's thinking though. Everybody's thinking that he's trying to re-up and recoup it as though like he wants to get more money, more in that bag. It looks like he wants to restructure it so that he can have a long-term deal with this company, as though like saying like, yeah, this is going to be my rest home from here on out.
I will end my career here.
And my career and continue it post ring wise, meaning that he would love to get more involved with the backstage, creative, being involved with agenting and stuff like that.
Do you have? I saw a glimpse of this, but they mentioned the time that he missed due to injury. Is time added on now because of the time he missed?
It probably so, but why would he care?
Because I saw his contract is currently it's going to 2026.
Right.
So it's 2024. So we have 3 more years of him.
Right. And ring wise, that's probably how much you're gonna have left of him anyway.
Because that's the only thing with Phil CM Punk Brooks is that he needs to be healthy.
Yes.
Because we've seen him for so many months now come out, cut promos, and he's a great talker. But now it's like can you be consistent in WWE television?
Well, that's
because this feud with McIntyre has been the hottest thing they've done in years, and he's only talked.
Shout out
some
to
saying we're about to see his first singles match with this company.
shout out to Drew, who threw some shade with
Video
and-
this fire burns.
and the T-shirt that has his name on it, and
He's still wearing the bracelet.
and he's like he gave a shout out to Cole Cabana and shit. It's like, oof, wow, we really go digging into the crates, aren't we, sir?
I can't wait for the media scrum for Phil.
Quick
Empty-headed dump Scott.
quick story. CM Punk and his shirt. So we're in Camelback, and we're at the outlets in out there in Stroudsburg. So we head into a Hot Topic, and if you guys have not known, she's very into her own bag when it comes to certain
She has her own style
and such, and she's very eclectic and thrifty, but yes, she knows how to put it together. In any case, Hot Topic it was a cool place for her at one time, but New York's Hot Topic is really not that good. It's almost like the size of my bathroom. It's not that good.
Oh yeah.
So we go to this one at the outlet, and it's big, it's huge. And she had like sensory overload. She lost her mind. Like she just started grabbing anything and everything she can. And
you look at your wallet, my money.
Oh, I wasn't upset because A, it was an outlet, and B, it was like buy one, get two free. So I was like, good.
Oh yeah, Hot Topic is good with deals.
Yeah. So she comes back to me and she's holding like a whole bushel of stuff. And she's like,
Bushel.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm like, okay, all right, calm down.
Go through it. Let's see what
she's like, no, I can't carry. Can you hold some of this? I said, just give it to the guy at the counter and tell him to hold it while we continue to shop. Any case, I'm looking around buying some stuff. And finally, like, I noticed that there wasn't anything really for me. So I was like, all right, so I'm ready to go, whatever.
I was about to say, there's some WWE shirts there, sir.
Right, supposedly, but it was like, I couldn't find anything. So finally, I get to a rack, and all of a sudden, this came out of me. This sound came out of me. I went, just like that. That's all you heard from me. It just went, just like that.
Everybody turned.
Everyone just turned. I was like, and I knew I did it, but I was just like still shocked that I did it. It was like, so
what shirt was it?
I found my CM Punk Best in the World with the black sleeve and the black collar.
Oh my!
Finally got that one, and I found a American Nightmare Cody Rhodes black shirt. I found one, so I am.
That one's for Reem.
No, that's mine. Fuck
Okay.
what you heard. That's for me. Fuck that shit.
Shout out to Reem.
Shout out to Reem and our boy Mark Bays. Yeah, I was like, well, I didn't know. So I apparently that store is like the third largest in the seaboard. So we went in at the right time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Perfect.
so just looking to renegotiate his contract, which is a good thing.
Just stay healthy, sir.
Right. Speaking of individuals who's going to stay with their company for post retirement as well, seems as though Bryan Danielson is committed to stay with AEW post in-ring action as well. Looks as though that he's going to be a staple for that company as well.
Not really shocking.
Not at all. I just find that it's just amazing that two people who consider themselves like the best in the world
Or like comfortable in their
will
in
be
companies that you think they wouldn't be
right.
normal in.
They'll be back. They'll be competitors in I guess in the corporate way, right? So yeah, that's interesting. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that post his injuries and he was able to get it together and put together a last run and the possibility
an
of
impressive resume
and being a little bit more creative. And now we see him in a big match at All In. I'm happy for Bryan, man. He's always been one of my top guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Speaking of AEW injuries update, we already know that wrestling is a game that comes with injuries. It goes hand in hand. But looks like that there's a mass unit happening on all fronts, but especially in AEW, we saw a large rush of injuries this past week. You have anything on that?
I'm trying to find the list, but I just want to say that if for just so for people that are aware, the last 3 weeks of Collision, 3 straight weeks of injuries to different people.
Yikes!
Where one was the Sky Blue. Dalton Castle got knocked the fuck out by Roderick Strong. Where here we go. AEW injury list. Okay, this is in alphabetical order, everybody. Ankle, Adam Coben, tibia, Bandito, wrist. Dalton Castle, concussion. Eddie Kingston, ACL. Jamie Hayter, shoulder. Jay White, undisclosed. Julia Hart, shoulder. Keith Lee, unknown. Kenny Omega, diverticulitis. Cole Carter, arm. Cole Carter, he's for Ring of Honor. Mark Davis, wrist. Matt Seidel, foot. Miro, personal. Ortiz, pec. Powerhouse Hobbs, knee. Riho, wrist. Sky Blue, ankle. Trent, that's pretty much a storyline thing, I think. And Yuka Sakazaki, leg.
Yeah. Oh, Riho also had wrist. He had
Riho
wrist. Yeah, and then we just had Kill Switch, and Jericho just got a broken finger on Dynamite.
Yeah. Kill Switch is working through his injury regardless. But yeah, Jericho's just a whole nother thing. But yeah.
It's this is just
injury bug is real, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you have? Keith Lee, what do you take from him and on him going to WWE? Yeah, apparently his contract is up soon as well. I don't know. I think more with him, we have to find out what his diagnosis is, being illness as such, because apparently that's what been the hindrance with him and his return.
He's been gone for pretty much a year now.
Right. So
well, December 2023, because he was scheduled to face Swerve, but then he got pulled.
Right. So it's been over 6 months and such. So I guess we're waiting to wait and see to find out what's going on with him and his injuries. Well, actually his illnesses and such. So
I think the last time we seen him in person probably was the freaking Hall of Fame for WWE.
Right.
And he looked okay, but I mean, something's going on, because this is the same dude that had a health scare during the pandemic. Like he contracted COVID and then had very massive breathing problems.
Yeah.
And for a guy that big, it's scary.
And I believe he had a history of injury, asthma or bronchitis or something like that as well. So that could be problematic as well. Julio Rodriguez says AEW misuse of Keith Lee from the jump. It was
add Ricky Starks to that list.
Yeah, it's from the jump, and right now the AEW is formulating some kind of storyline and angles and such, but ratings wise and such, you could see what has been their biggest drop off when it comes to their talent.
Not a lot of homegrown guys at this point for AEW. I mean, Ricky, Hobbs, and even Wardlow, those guys are not being used. Hobbs is hurt, but the other two, what's their excuse?
Not a lot of homegrown guys, and as well as the ones that they're really pining for to help straighten the ship. Once they do it for the first hour or so, it dies. They saw in the ratings last week that the hour-long match between MJF and Ospreay held the audience, and then all of a sudden Jericho got on. Woof! Boy, did the whole come out in that motherfucking boat. Woof!
As far as like AEW homegrown, I'm really trying to think. It's pretty much like MJF, Darby, Jungle Boy. I guess like what do you define as homegrown?
Yeah, Darby.
Yeah.
Jungle Jack,
yeah,
or Jack Perry,
just Jungle Jack.
I mean,
JR, is that you?
No, my Jungle Jack Perry.
I don't give a shit if you Jungle Boy. He's Jack Perry to me.
He might not have much left in the ring either. His size and age are against him. Yeah, they're talking about Keith Lee, and yeah, I see you, Corona. I had 2 left, so I might as well just finish it. And there was only 2 more left, so I was like, I might as well get it done off. Yeah, I think it's now
scary with Keith.
The pillars, it's
also, where's Sammy Guevara?
Apparently he and Ty Mello are working their way back. They're in training to get back into the ring. So I know a lot of people had speculated that Hologram was Sammy Guevara, but no, it's not him. It's not Ricochet either.
Some random dude from
AAA. Yeah. So
but here's the thing with Sammy and Ty. So Ty had the baby. That's her excuse. Sammy has been on TV because he gave Jeff Hardy a concussion.
Right.
Jeff Hardy's not in the company anymore, so what's the excuse now for Sammy?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, it's like you have to go by case. Like it just can't be. Oh, everybody's hurt. Like what?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
It's bullshit.
Speaking of the Hardys, Hardys have discussed that they want to shot at the NXT tag team titles. It seems as though those are the titles, tag titles that they have never held in WWE. Your thoughts?
The camera is doing a perfect representation. Like woohoo! I mean, I'm at this point where it's like I kind of want them to slow down because they're just not stopping at this point. Like Jeff Hardy did an interview too with Buster Open where he goes, he basically just said, I fucked up. No shit, Sherlock. You've been fucking up for years now. Like what? It just thinks like, oh, he's on the right track. Oh, then he gets in a car. Then he does some time away. Then he comes back with a big pop dances and everybody's happy. Then he hooks up again. So, like, the thing is, I like the Hardys a lot, but I'm at the point where it's like, slow the fuck down. I mean, do you want to see it? It'd be a pop, but that's it.
Listen, after what I saw with Matt Hardy against Dirty Dango at Slammiversary, oof.
I skipped that match on purpose.
Yeah, now you should know.
I watched, and meanwhile, PCO and AJ Francis had a better match than them.
And look at that. Remember, you were worried about that.
I said PCO might have a thing for 2 years in a row for bad matches.
Nominee, but no, look at that.
No, and he's getting married.
And since you're there, let's do a quick synopsis and thoughts about what happened at Slammiversary. I thought it was a great fucking show for them.
Yeah,
really, really good show.
4,000 people, not bad. The arena looked good. I do wish they lit the arena up more because show off the people that fucking paid the ticket to go in there.
Right. I thought that despite the hiccup with Hardy and Dirty Dango, I thought that the show up and down the card was actually really good. I loved ABC's match, the titles they won.
The Rascals look good against the quarter. Charlie Dempsey is impressive,
very much so. That kid has such an upswing, like.
He's so Regal's kid,
and exactly. If he could have just even a quarter of his sense of humor, he'll be fine.
He did show a little bit on NXT this week when Ben Sinclair won. He kind of had the face like, I might like this.
Right.
It might be an interesting dynamic. And then, so we had PCO beat Jay Francis, and then Steph Lander proposed to him dressed as Wednesday from the Adams family. So that was awkward. But you know what? Storylines, fuck it. I was shocked that Joe Hendry pinned Moose.
Yeah.
And Joe Hendry didn't win.
Right.
But they did do an angle with Josh Alexander, kicked him in the dick,
and
eliminated him. So Josh Alexander, he in his home country.
Yeah. And
Dolph Ziggler is the new TNA world champion.
Good for him. It's a good look for him and the company as well. I mean, we always say that leave a company, join a company, get a title. You know, that's pretty much like the norm when it comes to the business this day and age. But for Nick Nemeth, really, really well deserved. The guy has put in a lot, not only for his career in WWE, but just as a worker as well. I believe that it's a long time coming for him, and congratulations to Nick, man. Good for him.
He's having a good 2024. He won the New Japan Global title. He's the AAA Mega Champion, and now he's the TNA World Champion.
Right. Speaking of workers, it looks as though that Dustin Runnels doesn't want us to use the word jobber anymore, and I agree with him. I totally agree with that terminology. Those are that was an inside terminology used by wrestlers and the carnies of that ilk from back in the days, and that's something that should be stood in that circle. But enhancement talent workers, that's the name. That's the terminology that should be used for these.
I have his thing over in front of me.
Sure, you can read it.
He said, "Please stop using the term jobber. It is extremely disrespectful to everyone who is putting their bodies on the line each week. All of us are enhancement talent. We enhance each other's careers, show compassion to everyone that steps in this business and works hard enhancing others. Hashtag keep stepping."
Yeah, there's no such. There really isn't any jobbers anymore. There's no Mike Johnsons. There's no SD. Just Dwayne Gills. No SD. Joneses, no more
Barry Horowitz.
Horowitzes, no more Iron Mike Sharps. There's no more of those.
Everybody's pretty much on the same level at this point.
Supposedly, except now you're just on the tiers of mid-carder, main eventer, lower tiers. That's all it pretty much is. And you know, you kind of miss that aspect because it helps to build the popularity and the work rate of a wrestler when you have the enhancement talents. But now everybody seems to be on the same playing field. So it's you know, it's not anything that should be used anymore.
He's right, but I feel like he got offended because somebody called him a jobber. So.
I like Alexander's heel turn. Yeah, I mean it's worth it. I mean he was a heel at one time before. I mean it's not like
he was a heel with Ethan Page.
So it's not anything new. But as for now, yeah, I like the fact that spoiler alert for you guys all down the line. He explains it on an upcoming Impact, so check it out. And Brooklyn Brawler.
That was the ultimate jobber.
What was he had like the Goon. He had
Abe Knuckleball
Sports.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think it should be
the dumpster joke. You just keep going.
Yeah, I think it should be put to rest, that terminology. We got two individuals who are no longer with WWE as well. Bobby Lashley and MVP are out of WWE.
And Tamina.
Well, with Tamina, they're saying
she's already been done, but like her name popped up in the whole thing.
No, but then I read that they said that she's not out of the company per se as a wrestler, but they do have plans for her internally.
I believe so.
So as maybe
she's
a trainer,
retired now for over a year.
As a trainer, maybe an agent or something like that. So, or maybe even more, because she's very much involved with the business side of it. Remember, that's The Rock's cousin. So yeah, they're not just gonna let her go like that.
Yeah.
Fuck, he bought her a fucking house. I mean, come on. Yeah. He's not gonna let her go. So
but MVP and Bobby Lashley.
Apparently, Bobby Lashley was offered a contract and he refused it. MVP got some heat for alluding to the fact that Triple H
doesn't want me.
And that maybe that he's racist. So, which I have on here as well.
And then there's opposed to bet all the people that he's pushed over the years, like Bronson, like all in ethnicities. So,
yeah.
Some people need to really touch grass.
Well, I think they're still piggybacking off that whole storyline that he had with Booker T and what was said to him during that.
Over it.
Yeah, but also at the same time, that was Vince. All that was Vince.
Yes.
And
you know what else Triple H also did? He fucked a mannequin. That's what he also did that year.
I screwed your brains out.
2002 to 2003 was not the best creative year for Triple H. Let's be fucking honest. And that was the year of terror.
Yeah.
Triple H has his fucking people that he wants to push. MVP and Bobby Lashley, unfortunately, do not fit in that fucking mix. Triple H did try something with Lashley with the Street Profits, but you know what? At the end of the day, Lashley's what, 47, 48? He's getting up in their age. Triple H does not want to push him in the main event, which is perfectly fine. It's Triple H's WWE now. It's not the McMahons where, oh, he's a big black man. He's fucking Brock Lesnar. You need to push him.
And like we said, technically, he's only really had the company for a little over the year, creative-wise. So, yeah. Remember, we just celebrated a year of Vince's retirement. So,
yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah, exactly. Like we saw that he was trying to make his way back into the building.
Yeah,
but
what did you think of the whole thing of Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin wanting to do a Hurt Business in AEW? At least a rumor. Somebody's calling me out.
Oh wait, kicking it with the Keith on kicking it with the Keith on TikTok says red rigging PLE bingo cards is greater than Triple H's booking. I did not rig the cards. How did I rig the cards?
So let me explain that one.
I did not rig the bingo card.
There was an option for WWE wrestler returns. John Cena returned.
Okay.
And I forgot who else returned. CM Punk returned.
Okay.
I looked at you and said, does those count? You said no. Why?
Well, they were not returning from another company.
The fuck does that mean?
No,
You can't just change the definition of wrestler returns.
Why? It's my card.
Yeah, but then we asked you what counts. You go, oh, Jimmy Uso. Are you fucking kidding
He's
me?
returning from injury.
Oh my.
Neither one were
And
injured.
guess what? He didn't return, so nobody
and
got
CM Punk
that
didn't
one.
return from anything. He was around. He was still involved in some. Where did he return
But the
from?
John Cena one didn't count.
Where did he return from?
Oh my.
From where?
Hollywood.
Oh, shut up, please. From Hollywood.
The last time we saw John Cena, he was killed by Solo Sikoa, and we haven't seen him in a year.
But that doesn't mean that he's returning from an injury from another company.
Guess what? Now next year he's back for one more year.
Remember, I made it specific. I said legend returns, and who returned?
Trish Stratus.
Exactly, that counted, right?
Right.
Poof. There you go.
You rub Keith. Meanwhile, Ed will be like, I saw Pat McAfee dance in the video. Does that count? At that point, I said, fuck it counts.
Well, it's a McAfee dance, right?
Yeah, and then he won.
Okay, so
So back to Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin.
I would have liked to see one more run with the Hurt Business underneath the Triple H regime with
It's a bloodline.
But that's not the same.
I know.
What I really would have wanted was to see MVP manage fucking the Bloodline. That would have been cool.
Be Solo Sikoa's new wise man.
Yeah, that would have been fucking cool.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the other options are TNA and then New Japan. It'd be interesting if all three of them went to New Japan. Because MVP and Shelton have worked New Japan before. Bobby has an MMA style incorporated, so it would have been interesting. But
Wrestling Fan Frankie says Lashley is cool, but he can't talk. We know him in the main event. And where the most guys on the main event level can talk, which is true.
That's the only thing Lashley lacks.
Yeah,
that was pretty much why they put him with the Profits and BFAB, because they wanted to make him stop help him talk. Also, reason two. Let's be real here for Lashley. This was his best run out of the two runs he's had. The first run sucked. This one, where he was the almighty Bobby Lashley in the pandemic era,
right?
That was his best run by far, hands down.
Yeah, and he had his match
MVP by him, and he was his mouthpiece.
He had his run against Brock Lesnar at that time, which everybody wanted to see anyway. So it happened.
He went to WrestleMania as the WWE champion and walked out WWE champion. Meanwhile, we're thinking, yeah, he's just dropping it to Drew, so Drew gets his WrestleMania moment.
Right, exactly.
And we were shocked by that. Yeah, like you said, he had his match Goldberg and Brock. Like he improved so much as an in-ring worker too.
Yeah, so if maybe there's opportunities for him somewhere else, then that's fine. If
he wants to do MMA again, fuck it, go into MMA.
Oh, remember, he's 45 years old. Like he's getting up there in age as well. He doesn't take that away from that. He doesn't look spectacular.
Physically,
he looks great.
Yeah.
But Keith says Bobby Lashley, the poor George of WWE.
What the fuck does that mean?
Enjoying the random
Paul George. What?
Enjoy the random nations title Tony Khan is about to be given to him.
Oh, for the love of God.
The Paul George of WWE. Wow.
I don't understand that. So what? Shawn Benjamin, Kawhi Leonard? What the fuck? MVP is James Harden?
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So
that was probably the weirdest one. I like him, but
right.
Come on.
Lastly, before we go to the main event, which basically I know what you want to talk about. WWE.
Do you know?
Huh?
Do you know what I want to talk about?
WWE signing Delta Brady and possibly Raihio. Don't know any of these women. Don't know who the hell they are. Everybody was thinking that it was Riho, and it's some other chick from England named I have no idea who they are. And
well, Delta is from Australia,
right?
She kind of has that Rhea Ripley look.
She's also apparently she had a title match not too long ago against Jordan Grace at a Rev, I believe it was at a Rev Pro event. So I don't know. I'll have to do some research on them, but apparently they're already getting a stacked card. They're getting Julia that's coming soon.
Stephanie McCurr is on her way.
I mean, come on. I mean, now it's gonna be like they add these two females. there's gonna have like a
Three.
total invasion
Yeah.
of new talent coming in.
Yeah. I mean, NXT is about to get a big boost in their women's division. I just want to touch on a few things as well before you get into the main event.
Sure.
So, like, Brian Cage's wife, Melissa Santos, announced that she also has signed with AEW, probably as an announcer for their Collision show.
Mhm.
Ty Schmidt shit. Beth Phoenix is gone from WWE as well.
Is she done?
Yeah, she was removed from the WWE roster. Corey Graves posted the Jack Perry spot and then deleted it afterwards. This is not meant to sound judgmental or incite us versus them or question anybody's passion or talent or intentions. This is just coming from a guy whose career ended from a few too many accidental headshots. The art of this business is protecting ourselves and each other. Trust me, the gaps in memory are not worth it, I promise. And then he deleted it. And then everybody was like, oh, I wonder what you're trying to say, sir.
And
that's pretty much it. And so now we're on to the main event.
The main event. So I'm assuming your main event is you want to talk about blood and guts.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the positive. That fucking 2-ring cage setup looks incredible.
Right.
It's, I would say, compared to the WWE's War Games cage, I like this cage better. It looks more dangerous. Or it looks much bigger and more. What's the word? I don't want to say fun. It would be a fun cage to be in, but it just looks like blood and guts would happen in the cage.
My only problem with this is that these are supposed to be matches to where you're supposed to stay in the fucking cage. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit happening outside
the cage. So
right.
What's the fucking point?
Right. I mean, this also is a cage that had a roof. And like, so regardless, everybody was outside the cage at the start. I mean, I was telling you off mic, the one spot I didn't like or care for was the fact that they all gamed up on Swerve with the what the fuck are they called?
The staple gun?
Staple guns. And I said to you, as a white man, I was pretty much, I would be offended.
You was appalled?
I was appalled that the black world champion got stapled.
Kicking it with Keith says, I like that there's space from the ring apron to the cage. Yeah.
Like that's why it has like the elements of the elimination chamber, the steel cage, like the Hell in a Cell. Like, it's all mixed.
Right.
The fucking coffin drop off the top where Darby looks like he lands on his neck again.
Yeah.
He has such that ragdoll physics to him where it's like he hits Jack Perry, but then he folds like a fucking accordion.
Yeah, you kind of pretty much knew going into the match. You had two ragtag nutso fucking guys in the match that you knew could go crazy in here, which is Darby Allin and Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe, who's been in a lot of bloodbaths. Darby Allin, who will die one day doing this shit. The Acclaim, this was a different side of them. Swerve, we've seen it with the death match with Hangman. I mean, the spot with him and Hangman. This is pretty much AEW's best feud right now. Swerve and Hangman. So,
Keith asks, are these the sort of matches that are just too hard to book where you make where you have to have them take it, leave it outside the cage? I think that
what was the rule?
I think you could have done the same in the ring as you did outside. I didn't really think there was like really too much. You was already having enough fucking equipment and fucking stuff all around the fucking ring anyway. So what was really the difference of changing it from inside to outside the ring? Remember the old school
War Games
had a lid on top,
and the cages were smaller.
Right.
Like
so
it was around the ring apron. This is like beyond the ring apron and higher, like the Hell in a Cell structure.
Right. And you know, like you said, the aesthetic of it, the look of it is cool. It looks really good. But you know, what's the purpose of it if you're doing a lot of your shit outside the ring? I mean, the only spot that I took that should have worked outside the ring was the Hangman and the Swerve spot.
Which
when he handcuffed them outside, he was beating them up.
And then they couldn't get Swerve out of the fucking handcuffs. You had fucking Nana with the Clippers, but get him the fuck out of the cuffs.
I'm kind of still working with the Jeff Jarrett turn. Like, what Like, what
He's gonna turn on Bryan Danielson at all in, buddy. I don't know.
is that? Yeah,
I don't know anymore.
like all of a sudden there's a soft spot with him. And by the way, where the fuck is the rest of the crew? Where's
I
Jay?
don't care.
Exactly. Like,
Shit.
where's everybody else at?
You're pretty much asking where Ken Jarrett is at this point.
No, I'm saying, where's Jay Lethal?
Fucking God only knows
Is he
where.
in Ring of Honor or something?
Not even.
Shit. Another guy who had a missed opportunity with WWE. I wish he would have been over there at some point in time.
By the way, this goddamn Ring of Honor. They have a pay-per-view tomorrow.
Did you even know that?
I sent you the graphics.
No, I saw, but did you know that?
Until I saw ROH Death Before Dishonor, that's why I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But that's another story. But
Lee Moriarty versus
the 6-pack challenge.
It's like,
I want Leo Rush to win that because he's not under an AEW contract. But no, Atlantis Jr.
like I said,
Care about Ring of Honor. Nobody cares about Ring of Honor.
Lee Moriarty versus your boy, my boy, everybody's boy.
Shane Taylor and Cage. Everybody's in there. Fuck it.
All right, it's a
Two AEW stars, Mark Briscoe and Roderick Strong, fight for the Ring of Honor World Title.
well, that
Yay.
should be good. Well, that should be good though.
It could be
All this sounds like it could be on TV. It doesn't need to be a pay-per-view.
it doesn't need to be under the Ring of Honor banner.
Right. It
But
does.
anyway, back to Blanket. So I was going to ask. So with WWE, when they do War Games, they always establish the rules.
Mhm.
So they always say like the only way to win is by pinfall, submission. They don't do the surrender thing, but they say if anybody escapes the cage, it's an automatic
DQ. No, loss.
Forfeit.
Forfeit. Right.
So in AEW, shit hits the fan and you win by submission or surrender. So that was pretty much what played into the finish
Right.
because Darby Allin threatened to set Jack Perry to quote, "I'm gonna set him on fucking fire if you don't quit." And then Matt just goes, "I quit. We quit. We're done."
No, remember, the other step was that he had to have a title match at All In for the TNA.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the other step.
Okay,
as
so
well.
that. Meanwhile, that wasn't the most egregious thing where everybody's talking about it. Jack Perry, in Jesus Christ pose on the cage, handcuffed, gets nailed in the head with a chair shot from Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
I'm so numb to chair shots, I wasn't even offended. I was more offended by Swerve getting stapled.
So
The chair shot, I looked at that, I was like, of course you did that.
So the one thing that I could say about it is, if there's somebody who's going to give you a chair shot,
It's Mark Briscoe.
It would be Mark Briscoe,
Yeah.
because Wrestling Fan Frankly asked me about what is a gimmick chair shot? Isn't it a chair shot? Well, no, because there's a certain way in which you deliver the shot.
Yeah.
And there's a certain point on your head in which you deliver it, and you don't swing it that hard, but you want the sound. You want that sound.
The Ken Shamrock theory.
Right. So, when you look at what happened with like
If
Foley,
anybody knows what I'm talking
Like,
about.
yeah.
The Ken Shamrock spot where Rock swings a chair and hits him right in the fucking forehead.
look at what he did to Foley. He did the same shit to Foley. Like,
But that was worse.
yeah, exactly. Those were like
There's-
direct shots.
I think because everybody was just so like shocked because it's 2024 and everybody knows everything about chair shots to the head these days. But it's just that the fact that, like I said, Jack Perry was in Jesus Christ pose.
Can't protect himself.
And Mark just swings, and then you just hear the commentary. This guy goes, Jesus Christ. Like,
well, remember the
he
last
went,
time?
holy shit.
Remember the last time that they had a real issue with this? I believe it was with Cody and
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears swung that chair at his head.
Right. And I think Cody
He
fucking
told him to do it.
yeah.
That was planned.
And at the same time he had buyer's remorse for that shit.
Oh yeah.
But
because it's like, again, we're in the era where we know about concussions, we know about brain damage, all that shit. So then just seeing, because in WWE, when we see chair shots, we always see chair to the gut, and then you put your back out, and then
Right.
you take a chair shot to the back.
which, regardless of what you fucking think, let me hit you across the fucking back with a chair and see if you can fucking take that shit.
Regardless, that shit will hurt.
Didn't you take a chair shot one time?
No.
I thought somebody hit you with a chair. I know somebody we knew got hit with a chair, and I was like, "Fuck off! You didn't do that shit to me. Fuck out of here."
No.
But
Probably Mittens.
it's probably right. I just think it's like, because it was asked like, what's the reason for doing it, and it's because they want to prove that they're tough. They want to prove that
They're
can.
hardcore.
Yeah, it's a different day and age to now and before, because you're not really educated enough to give somebody a chair shot. You're not really you're going all out. You're really just really going for it. Also, I was never been a fan of taking a chair shot to the head and you protecting it. That's why I'm more inclined to see when someone does it with across the back, because at least with that, it's like, scene is flat, boom, it's done. Whereas
also Jack Perry, so I figured, of course, he's going to be the one that he probably said, "Do it. Let's get some buzz."
I forgot who was it Dan Patrick or Keith Olbermann? It was one of them. Remember when WWE was doing spots on Sports Center and shit, and Stone Cold, he was doing a spot and he was talking about how he had like a, hey, you think I got a little nick in my back? You think you'll help me out with that? And one of them, during the process, he tells him, he's like, while they're recording, he's like, "Do I really need to hit you?" He goes, "Go for it, right? Just swing."
Oh, I know he's talking about the commercial.
Yeah, for the
it was
commercial.
like, "Hey Dan, I'm
Dan Patrick.
I'm out of it today. I need to wake up."
Right.
Okay, I got you. Swing. Thank you.
And Dan Patrick always said, he's like, "I was really scared because I thought I didn't want this guy to fucking, I didn't want to get
Because Stone
hit."
Cold's sitting, and you pretty much try to make sure you don't hit this dude in the fucking neck.
He also said, like, I don't want to be the reason why this guy get hurt. Or,
Exactly.
So he's like, no.
Yeah.
So, but then he's like, "Nah, I don't know about it. Go for it." He did it. He says, sorry, give me a second. Doesn't this sort of chair shot appeal to the AEW fans though? It's more for the viral online. Yeah,
Exactly.
It does.
That's probably why they did it.
Yeah.
Because it's 6-second clip of Mark swinging a chair, and then you hear Scott go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. It's the audience of them, because
Not for the casuals.
and the fact that we, like you said, we already know what's the long term for this, and like you mentioned, like I've gotten to a point where I've gotten so desensitized to it. Like, it's just,
I've seen worse chair shots.
and I just sit there and I just shake my head and I go, whatever, man. Like it's just, you've had a lot of stuff going on in that match, like the thumbtacks and all that shit. All that shit that
Bones
played out
going
there.
through 4 tables on that side.
That was like, okay, like, what more can you do with that? You know what I mean?
You had Okada give Swerve the middle finger, and then Swerve stapling his finger.
What's going on, brothers? That's our people's from our respected craft. Shout out to our boy Ray doing big things over there. He had a birthday too, man. His boy had a birthday as well. So yeah, man, there was a lot more going on. And by the way, paid all that money for Okada. How's that going for them?
He's happy.
That's all he gives a fuck
don't
about.
give a shit.
But as for drawing numbers, they ain't doing shit. Nothing.
So let me ask you this, because this was probably the thing everybody was talking about. I figured maybe you would have a better insight on this. So last week, they went the whole first hour doing this match with Ospreay and MJF, knowing this week we're probably going to dedicate 45 minutes to Blood and Guts.
Right.
Your thoughts?
And
It's like 2 weeks in a row where you dedicate an hour to one match alone. Meanwhile, you had Jericho and Suzuki, you had Mariah May have a match, and then you have Tony Storm return. Then you had MJF do the presentation with his belt, and then it's like, time for Blood and Guts.
Yeah, everything else was good. Like I
show.
said, this week's Dynamite wasn't a bad show. It actually was a good show, especially the Mariah May and Tony Storm spot.
I love Tony Storm. Like, do you want to fucking die?
Yeah. Yeah, it now it's
Camille showed up too.
Yeah, that's right. We finally got to see Camille.
Since fucking February, she's been signed. Now they bring her out.
Because it's the whole Monet shit. Remember, she's in charge of Home Creative.
But remember, I also called this too as her bodyguard.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much it.
And somebody did a good Photoshop comparison. Says Monet is gonna be Shawn Michaels and Camille's gonna be Diesel.
So
the Blood and Guts. Overall, I've seen. This is not the worst Blood and Guts I've seen.
Blood
and Guts.
I think to me it was one of the better ones. I thought last year's was like trash.
The Moxley one.
Yeah,
Kota Ibushi.
I thought that was trash.
The one during the pandemic was good as well. It's just that when Jericho did that bump, that was probably the worst.
Yeah, that was
thing
the
they
most
did.
stupidest shit that they did there.
Oh shit, he died. He landed on cardboard boxes.
Right.
Calm down.
So yeah, I have to say this is probably one of the better ones for me.
Yeah.
I
mean, Swerve and Hangman, they're still building that up.
I'll tell you one thing though, man. You know, Swerve's just really not getting the justice he really deserves, man.
Does he really feel like a main eventer?
No, he's not. It doesn't. I mean,
he has the
eternally he's there. He
Right.
does have the belt, but like, what you saw what he did in this match was he had a lot of fucking. Matter of fact, I can't even say a lot. He had a one combination of impressive fucking moves that chained together, and he was doing that shit on fucking tax. That's the shit that is crazy. Like he was doing all that shit on fucking tax. I would have been.
He better be
pissed
selling tomorrow.
Yeah, I would have been fucking pissed about. He better and fucking House of Glory. He better come with band-aids all over his body.
Exactly.
Oh, other than that,
so he did that. He does this. Now we're on the road to All In.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his match? Bryan Danielson. That's probably gonna be his best wrestling match so far in his run.
But yeah,
this run
somewhere along the line.
We need to establish a story of the young Swerve Strickland that's about to go against Bryan Danielson, who's about to wind
you know
down.
they're gonna find a fucking way to interject Hangman into that match. You know it's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna make it a triple threat.
You think so?
Oh please, it's gonna happen.
Well, they lost, so it doesn't make any sense.
When does a lot of stuff make sense in AEW?
Well, okay, so how about this? So they announced for Rampage they're doing the Rampage Rumble thing,
and he wins it.
No, the winner is going to Grand Slam. Not even all out. What the fuck? So you have to wait till September?
I don't know. So I feel somewhere along the line.
I didn't even read the spoilers. Let me read.
They're gonna add them, but
I need to read the spoilers.
Now, other than that, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for your time, attention, and your true dedication to not only us here at Turbo Tabloid, but also to professional wrestling. You guys, thank you for the love and thank you for taking your time here on a Thursday afternoon. I'm on vacation, so I'm able to work and put some stuff together, not only for Turbo Tabloid, but for upcoming stuff. And I'm hoping that you guys are notified for all things that are getting. Hold on one second. All things that go. Make sure you like, subscribe, and get notifications for when we do go on. It's unfortunate that we've been moving away from Facebook, but you know, Facebook has just been crapping out. And you know what? Fuck them. I'm not even gonna be trying to entertain them anymore. I'm just gonna move the shows off somewhere else. Same thing with X. We're moving away from X, guys. We're just gonna move away from Twitter a little bit more. Probably just use it for media stuff like news and all that. But other than that, it's better that way too because it's more centralized and we can
our audience is better on the platform.
Right. So, guys, once again,
respectful.
Thank you for your time. And Mike, where they could get us at?
Okay, so now we don't do X anymore. So again, so Instagram is at Turnbuckle Tab, right?
There you go.
And like you said, TikTok and YouTube at Turnbuckle Tab.
All right, guys. As always, make sure you download, subscribe to the podcast. That's where you get the audio and everything. Just in case you can't get the visual, you can always hear us on all this podcasting platforms and all those outlets as well. And yeah, guys, and we're gonna be out. Much to talk about, much to catch up on during the week, and get those notifications so you guys can see when we pop on. And as always, check you guys later. And you know, as always, I gotta play the outro because Mark needs to know when to stop watching.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy.